Get ready for some playoff baseball on MLB The Show 23. I am Chris Ramos. Welcome for joining me. The Connecticut Knights are in the American League Division Series. Best of 5, best 3 of 5. Game 1 belongs to the Connecticut Knights. They're up 1-0. Let's go advance. Game 1, Randy Johnson got the win. Player spotlight, Dizzy Walsh, the left fielder, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. Let's go to the calendar. Let's go to Game 2, which is Robin Ramos versus Don Sutton. View organization's games. Click that. Play game. All preceding games will be simulated. That's fine. Play full game. We are the home team. We play, for now, our home games at Crosley Field. Okay. Robin Ramos. This is the starting lineup, which is correct. Everybody's energy looks just fine. So, welcome to the live stream. I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. Let the computer run the bases for me. And I do some rudimentary play-by-play. Hopefully you can bear the sound of my voice. Welcome to the American League Division Series. About to start right now. The Chicago White Sox trail the Connecticut Knights 1-0 in this best of 5. On the mound for Game 2, Robin Ramos. During the regular season, he was 19-6, and that was good enough to win the Cy Young Award for the American League, his second such honor in 4 seasons. 2 out of 4, not too shabby. He'll face Ozzie Smith to lead off Game 2. Misses outside ball 1. Ozzie Smith played for the St. Louis Cardinals back in the 1980s. Hall of Famer because of his defense. Misses high, 2 balls and no strikes. Got to get those pregame jitters out of the way. Low, 3-0. On deck, Brandon Nimmo. Will he have the green light on the 3-0 pitch? Let's see. No, he was not. Red light all the way. Hitters count 3-1. Pop up, short right field. Nimmo, no, check that. Byron Stott makes the catch for the first out. Lineup for the Chicago White Sox on your television screen. 243 home runs in 2026. That's 6th in the American League. 243 home runs, not too shabby. So speaking of Nimmo, Brandon Nimmo steps in with 1 away. Skies at 2 left center field. Charging is Dizzy Walsh. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Jimmy Fox steps up. And here's the pitch from Ramos. In there, strike 1, triple digits on the radar gun, 100 miles an hour. Shaking that arm. Hope that's not something to worry about. Swing and a miss at the fastball, 2-seam action. Count is 0-2. 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the first inning. Deep drive to right, back goes Salmon to the warning track, over the shoulder, off his glove. Rounding first and heading to second. It's going to be a double for Jimmy Fox. A 2-out double. Could have been out number 3, but it went off of the heel of the glove. Let's watch the replay. You expect more from the right fielder, but tough play. So runner in scoring position for Ryan Howard. High strike, but strike nonetheless. Count is 0-1. Two-seam fastball low. Count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Howard had 45 home runs during the regular season. Grounded up the middle, fielded by Stott. Makes the throw in time, side retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. The end of the half-inning play here in Crosley. It's the White Sox 0, the Chicago Knights coming to bat. Game 2 of the ALDS. Don Sutton won his first postseason start. 8 2/3 innings. He'll face Dizzy Walsh. Swings at the first pitch, skies it to right, might be playable. Makes the catch on the in-foul territory for out number 1. Right near that sidewall. Connecticut Knights starting lineup. They had 268 homers as a team in 2026 this season. Good for 3rd in the American League amongst all American League ball clubs. Next up, Derek Jeter. Swings the first pitch, skies it to right, deep but playable. And there are 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the first. Ken Griffey Jr. steps in, 2 outs, bases empty, lefty. Led the team in homers during the regular season. Screwball outside, ball 1. Chases a pitch high and out of the strike zone. Fouls it back, count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pulls it, foul. Count is 1 and 2. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Oh, he went too far. Couldn't check his swing, strike 3, side retired. After 1, no score here in game 2. MLB The Show. Vladimir Guerrero steps in here in the top of the second. Most people who are fans of baseball today are aware of his son, but the father was in there at the knee, strike 1. The father, in my humble opinion, is a better Major League Baseball player, at least so far. We'll see what happens when the season is over. Slicing line drive, foul. Count is 0 and 2 to Vladimir Guerrero. Strike 3 called. Changeup finds the outside corner and there's 1 away. Next up, third baseman Eddie Matthews. Here comes the pitch. Just misses low with the fastball, ball 1. Pops it up, third base line. In foul territory as Miguel Cabrera makes the catch for out number 2. Robin Ramos making quick work of the Chicago White Sox so far. Next up, Craig Biggio, 3,000 hit club member. Outside corner, strike 1, played for the Houston Astros in real life. In the 1990s, 80s and 90s. 2-seam fastball inside, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Out in front of the curve, swing and a miss, count is 1 and 2. Pops it up, right side, near the dugout. Garver makes the catch, retires the side. 2 quick innings for Robin Ramos after an inning and a half of play here at Crosley Field. Still no score. Bottom of the second, Miguel Cabrera steps up to the plate. Sutton deals. Swings at the first pitch, skies it to right. Deep but playable. In front of the warning track, Guerrero makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 away. Carlos Delgado. 1 away. Base is empty. Late on the fastball, swinging him as strike 1. Two-hopper to the second baseman. Fields fires. In time, 2 away. Designated hitter, Robin Ramos, has a homer in yesterday's, a 3-run home run in game 1 of this 5-game series yesterday. Slider tried to find the back door, missed outside, ball one. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. On deck is right fielder Tim Salmon. Will he have the green light? No, he will not. No green light on 3-0 counts. Ball 4. So 2-out walk for Ramos. Pitched him very carefully. So Tim Salmon steps in. No hits in yesterday's game. But he's got a hit today. That's a line drive single to center. Runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Knights threaten. Next up, lefty Bryson Stott. 2 on, 2 away. Pops it up. Foul territory, out of play for strike 1. Swing and a miss at the outside fastball. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. He's 1 strike away from getting out of this second inning jam. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Don Sutton. Low, 1-2. Ramos leads off second, Salmon off first. Chased a high fastball way out of the strike zone, struck him out. They strand 2. The end of 2 innings of play, no score. This is the American League Division Series on MLB The Show 23. Top 3, Pete Crow Armstrong. Interesting baseball name. I wonder if he's real or fictional. I do not know. Late on the fastball, fouls it down the left field line, out of play, strike 1. Pete Crow - Armstrong. That's a name. 2-hopper to the second baseman, charges, fires, got him, 1 away. Next up, Danny Jensen, catcher. Misses low and outside, ball 1. Danny Jensen was on the free agent market last offseason. Knights were thinking of making an offer. They decided to stick with Mitch Garver. Mitch Garver rewarded them. Fouls it back. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Mitch Garver gave them basically an all-star season with almost 30 home runs at the catcher position, so it all worked out. Grounder to third. Oh, past the third baseman. Oh, no. He's safe. That's not very good infield defense from the left side. Yeah, they're giving an error to Derek Jeter for holding on to that ball. I think the error should have gone to E5, but nevertheless, runner at first with 1 out for Ozzie Smith, who's 0 for 1. High strike, but strike nonetheless. Count is 0-1. You can't let your defense fail you in the playoffs. Slicing down the left field line. Walsh charges, makes the catch. 2 outs. Brandon Nimmo flew out in the first. He's 0 for 1. 2 outs, runner at first. Popped him up. Easy play for Cabrera. Barely has to move. He makes the catch to retire the side. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on. The end of 2.5. Still no score. This is MLB The Show. So Mitch Garver, speak of the devil appears. Had a hit in yesterday's ball game. Out in front of the screwball, swing and a miss. He had 26 home runs in 116 games. Not too shabby. High and tight, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's a lazy fly ball to center. And there's 1 out. Lineup turns over for the Knights. Dizzy Walsh, 0 for 1. Steps up. He had 2 doubles in yesterday's game, in game 1 of this series. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. He was the September Rookie of the Month. Did not win the Rookie of the Year award, unfortunately, but only played half the season. Pulled it foul. Had he been given the left fielder's job or at least been in the starting lineup from the very beginning of the season, maybe he would have won the Rookie of the Year award, but not to be. Fouls it off. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dizzy. Swing and a miss is out in front of the breaking ball, and there are 2 away. Strikeout number 3 for Don Sutton. He knows the assignment. His team is down 1-0. He's got to even the series at 1 game apiece. Derek Jeter, 0 for 1. Steps up, 2 outs, bases empty. Pops him up. In foul territory, charging is Matthews. Makes the catch. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Sutton. The end of 3 innings of play. Still no score. Top of the 4th. Up steps Jimmy Fox, who doubled in the first off of the glove of the right fielder. This time it should be a little easier for Salmon to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 away. So 1 away, Ryan Howard grounded out in the first, steps in. Ryan Howard. Played for the Philadelphia Phillies in the early 2000s. Pitches low, ball 1. I believe he won a World Series in 2008 with them. Inside 2 balls and no strikes. I think so. I'm not 100% certain. I know that the Philadelphia Phillies won a World Series in 2008. In there, strike 1, 2 balls, 1 strike. And that's about the time that he played for the Phillies. But can't be certain. Just gets a piece of the changeup. Fouls it back. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, bases empty. No score. Game 2 of the ALDS. Connecticut leading 1-0. Fouls it back upstairs behind home plate. And we'll do it again. Pulls it up the first base line. Out of play. Count remains 2-2. Did he go? No, he did not. Pitches in the dirt. Full count, 3-2. Here comes the full count pitch. Throw a fastball right down the middle. Deep drive. Griffey heading to left center field near the wall. Makes the catch with his back against the wall for out number 2. Tested the dimensions of this ballpark. That's for certain. So 2 outs, bases empty. Vladimir Guerrero struck out in his first at-bat. Had a home run in game 1. But his team lost the game regardless. Swing and a miss at the fastball. 100 on the radar gun for strike 1. Curveball misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Vlad Guerrero was the kind of hitter that they called him a bad ball hitter back in the 90s. High and tight, 2 balls, 1 strike. He would go and chase pitches out of the strike zone and hit them 9 miles. Foul, late on it. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Played mostly for the Montreal Expos. Strike 3 call. Breaking ball looked high, but now he's nodding his head yes. After 3.5, still no score. This is MLB The Show 23. I am RC Robin, also known as Chris Ramos. Please like and subscribe. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Up steps Ken Griffey Jr. 0 for 1. Swing and a miss at the screwball. Strike 1. Nasty pitch from Don Sutton. Grounded to the shortstop. Actually, the third baseman playing the shortstop for the White Sox makes the throw in time, 1 away. He was the only infielder on the left side. Eddie Matthews. So 1 away, Miguel Cabrera is 0 for 1, steps up. And that's a line drive, base hit through the right side. 1 out single for Miguel Cabrera. And here's the replay. So next up is Carlos Delgado, 0 for 1. Fouls it back, 4-1. That was a good pitch to hit. 0 for 1, grounded out in the second. High and tight, but high and out. No, high and thought it was high and outside, but called the strike. 0-2, 0-4-2, 0-2. Outside and low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner leads off first. No score, bottom of the 4th inning. Struck him out swinging, and there's 2 away. 4th strikeout of the game for Don Sutton. It was just a well-placed pitch on the outside corner. So next up is Robin Ramos. No official at-bat today because he walked in the 1st inning, or in his first at-bat at least. Pulls it high and deep, but foul. Strike 1. Robin Ramos has had a 4-year career. He's been to the All-Star game all 4 seasons. He's a two-way player. Out in front of the sinking fastball, swing and a miss. Count is quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner leads off first. Deep drive, but couldn't keep it fair. Pulls it into the seats, and the at-bat will continue. He had a 3-run home run in yesterday's game, in Game 1. Instrumental in the Knights' win. Fouls off the outside fastball to stay alive. Popped it up, out of play. Count remains 0-2. Again, yanks it. First base line, foul ball. Was on that, but couldn't keep it fair. Was a little out in front. 0-2 pitch, again coming from Don Sutton. And he pops him up in the infield. Jimmy Fox at first, waits for it, and he retires the side. So at the end of 4 innings of play, we have a pitcher's duel on both sides of it. No score here in this crucial Game 2 of the American League Division Series. Top of the 5th, Eddie Matthews, 0 for 1. Strike 1.
No ball, 1 strike.
Grounded, third base line foul. Strike 2. It's like an excuse me swing. Fastball misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called, slider at the knees. That is strikeout number 3 today for Ramos. Here's the replay. Can't take that pitch, it's at the knees. Next up, Craig Biggio, 0 for 1. Line drive, slicing, foul. Strike 1. 0 for 6 so far in these 2 games. Line drive, Salmon charges, makes the shoestring catch for out number 2, and now he's 0 for 7 for this series. So 2 outs, bases empty. Pete Crow Armstrong, 0 for 1. Pulls it deep, but foul. Swung with authority, but couldn't keep it fair. Here comes the 0-1 from Ramos. Again, pulls it deep, but foul. Strike 2. Pretty decent pitch count for Ramos. 51 pitches here in the 5th inning. Here's pitch number 52. Hard grounder to short. Fields, fires, got him. On this side is retired after 4.5 innings of play. Still no score here in the Game 2 of the ALDS. Leading off the bottom of the 5th, Tim Salmon, who singled in his first at-bat. Sutton deals. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to center. Waiting for it is Brandon Nimmo. And there's the first out. Next up, Bryson Stott, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He had 2 on and struck out on a high fastball that was out of the strike zone. And he pops it up. Near the first base bag is Fox, makes the catch, and there are 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Almost like the first team to score in this game will be the team that wins. So Mitch Garver steps in with 2 outs, 0 for 1. Seems like everyone is 0 for 1. Laid on it, slicing, out of play, strike 1. He was 1 for 4 with a single in game 1. Chases a high fastball, fouls it down the right field line, out of play, 0 and 2. 2 outs, bases empty. 5th inning, no score. That's a deep drive to right. It's got a chance. Vladimir, near the warning track, makes the over-the-shoulder catch in front of the wall. So at the end of 5, still no score. Pitchers duel on both sides of the tally. Which pitcher will crack first? We shall see. So we go to the top of the 6th. Danny Jensen reached on an error in the 3rd. They gave an error to Jeter, but did not come around to score. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. Danny Jensen is a 2-time All-Star. Line drive headed towards the right center field gap, and it is in there and will roll all the way to the wall. He's rounding first. He's heading to second. Griffey throws to second. It will not be in time. It is a leadoff double for the Chicago White Sox here in Game 2. Nobody out. Ouch. Got good wood on that between the right and center fielder. So lineup turns over for the White Sox. Ozzie is 0 for 2. Line drive, slicing foul for strike 1. Just gets a piece of the 2-seam fastball, fouls it off. 2 quick strikes on Ozzie Smith. Grounded to Stott at second, over to first for the easy out. Runner moves from second to third, so on the out. So they have a runner at third, the go-ahead run with less than 2 outs as Brandon Nimmo steps in, who's 0 for 2. So a deep fly ball could give Chicago a 1-0 lead. Swing and a miss? No. Check the swing, but it's in there regardless. Count is 0-1. Slider low, inside, ball 1. Did he check it? Pitch was outside, checked the swing. Count is 2-1. Deep drive, Salmon heading back to the wall. He will not get there. It's a 2-run home run for Brandon Nimmo, his first of the series. And just like that, here in the top of the 6th inning, in Game 2 of this best-of-5 series, Chicago has a 2-0 lead. Salmon wanted to make a leap, but he couldn't get back there fast enough. So next up, Jimmy Fox, 1 for 2. Line drive headed towards the right center field gap. Check that left center field gap, and it will one-hop to the wall. He's rounding first. He's heading to second. Throws to the cutoff man. So that's a double, 1-out double for Jimmy Fox. And we're going to have a look at the bullpen in a minute. Oof. Ramos has pitched well. Don Sutton so far has pitched better. Okay, before Ryan Howard gets up, bullpen. Aaron Loop is a left-hander. Hunter Green is a right-hander. Let's warm them both up. The manager will go to send the pitching coach to the mound to talk it out. It's also strategic to give the bullpen a little time to get a couple extra throws in. So Ryan Howard is 0 for 2. Line drive to center, charging. Throw to the plate, rounding third and heading home is not in time. It is a 3-0 lead for Chicago. And the RBI single by Ryan Howard. Here's the replay, and the wheels are falling off the wagon here in game 2. Wasn't in a good throwing position. Next up, Vladimir Guerrero. 1-out runner at first. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. I have a feeling that this may be the last batter that Robin Ramos faces in this game. Outside with the curveball, 2-0. Just gets a piece of the fastball, fouls it back. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Vladimir. Swing and a miss, he's going to second. The throw is late. Stolen base for Ryan Howard. He's in scoring position now with 1 out. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Vladdy. Swing and a miss, struck him out, 2 away. Strikeout number 4. When you're in the 6th inning and Robin Ramos only has 4 strikeouts, you know he didn't bring out his best stuff out of the bullpen. So Eddie Matthews steps in. Fastball, low, ball 1. So the manager is deciding to stick with Robin Ramos instead of going the left-hander. Fouls off the slider at the plate. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Eddie Matthews, in his career, legendary career, was a home run champion twice in the 50s. Deep but foul. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Matthews. Ground ball, base hit up the middle. Griffey's charging, rounding third and heading home. It'll be a 2-out single for Eddie Matthews and a 4-0 lead here for Chicago, and they are pulling away. Ramos just does not have it here in the 6th. No chance for Jeter at short. So we're going to go to the manager's office. He's going to go to the bullpen. He's going to put Hunter Green in there. Put him in the game. That will be all for Ramos. Now, new rule, he is not just the designated, he's not just hitting for himself in the lineup, but Robin Ramos is officially the designated hitter. Even though he's coming out of the game, he will stay in the hitter spot as the DH for the remainder of the game. So at least he can do something with the bat that he could not do on the mound. It's a new rule. Ohtani basically single-handedly caused that rule in baseball to change. Hunter Green. So we're just going to quick manage, and we're going to fast forward to the next half inning. So, made it out. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 4-run lead here in Game 2 for the Chicago White Sox. Can we claw our way back? Let's see. Fouls it back, strike 1. Don Sutton has been throwing darts, throwing blanks, throwing donuts, however you want to say it. Screwball inside, count as 1 ball, 1 strike. However, Robin Ramos, after 5 innings, was throwing a shutout, and the wheels fell off the wagon. So let's see, maybe the same thing can happen to Don Sutton. Outside corner, strike 2. Count as 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dizzy. Dizzy has godlike speed. Check the swing, pitch is low, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dizzy took the job of Chris Ramos, who was injured for the season. Low, full count 3-2. On deck is Derek Jeter. Yes, you heard me correctly. Identical twin brothers, Chris Ramos and Robin Ramos. Chris Ramos, the starting left fielder, was injured at the All-Star break. Fouls it back. The at-bat will continue. Full count 3-2. Injured at the All-Star break for the remainder of the season, so the load left to be carried by one twin brother. Sinking fastball, just got a piece to stay alive, and the count will remain full. Dizzy is making Don Sutton work. Again, fouls it off, and the battle continues. This is what you like to see from your leadoff man. Pitches out of the zone, could not check it. Called strike 3, and there's 1 away. Next up, Derek Jeter with 1 out. Don Sutton won the battle. Fastball inside ball 1. Yesterday, Derek Jeter was 2 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs. Just got a piece of the screwball. 12-6 curve. I don't know what that was. Count as even, 1 ball, 1 strike. It was slow and it had a hook. Fouled off the fastball 1 and 2. Jeter had another Jeter-like season this year. Just got a piece, fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Off the end of the bat, skies it to right center field. Long run, but he will run it down with the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 2. Off the end of the bat. Next up, Ken Griffey, 0 for 2. Still 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, up the middle, speared by Sutton. Throws to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning. 6 shutout innings for Don Sutton. The Chicago White Sox in this pivotal game 2 of the ALDS lead 4-0. Looking to even the series at 1 game apiece. So Pete Crow Armstrong is 0 for 2. Green, we're going to quick manage this half inning. Fast forward. Next half inning. And a run scores. It's 5-0 Chicago. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 5-run lead, 5-0. Miguel Cabrera has a single today. He's 1 for 2. Doesn't look good, folks. Late on the fastball, skies it to right, but it's an easy play for Vladi. 1 pitch, 1 away. Doesn't look good. Carlos Delgado, 0 for 2. 1 out, bases empty here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Oh, that's a deep drive. Hit it right on the nose. Over the shoulder, makes a leaping catch. What a play by Guerrero in right. Thought it would have a chance to go out. Then I thought it was going to go over his head. So, anyway, bases are empty still. Robin Ramos up there with 2 outs. He walked in the game. He's 0 for 1. Just got a piece of the knuckle curve, fouls it back, strike 1. And he skies it to center, it's deep. In front of the warning track, makes the catch to retire the side. So 7 shutout innings for Don Sutton. 5-0 lead for Chicago here in Game 2 of the ALDS. Leading off Ryan Howard, who has an RBI single and a run scored. In there, strike 1. I forgot. Let's go to quick manage. Fast forward to the next half inning. Strikeout, ground out, walk, strikeout. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing 5-0. Leading off for the Connecticut Knights is Tim Salmon, who had a single in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 2. Don deals. Fastball is low, ball 1.
1-0.
Slaps it to center. Right at the center fielder. Nimmo makes the catch. 1 away. Hit it hard, but got to hit them where they ain't. Next up, Bryson Stott, 0 for 2. Hey, Luke. Welcome to the live stream. Pitch is high, ball 1. This is Game 2 of the American League Division Series. The Connecticut Knights, the team in blue, won Game 1. This is Game 2, and they're losing 5-0. The pivotal Game 2 of a 5-game series. Just got a piece of that inside fastball, fouls it off. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike to the second baseman. So this is a home game for the Knights. You want to win your home games. To split one apiece is painful. Breaking ball outside 2-1. Maybe I can come back and win the game. If I do, you'll be here to see it. Off the plate, hitters count 3-1. Maybe you're the good luck charm. On deck is Mitch Garver, the catcher. Oh, you were just playing MLB The Show. Very good. Great minds think alike, Luke. Pops it upstairs behind home plate, out of play. Count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Bryson Stott. Here comes the full count pitch. Don Sutton working on a shutout. And that's a hard line drive to center, but playable. And there's the out. Hit it good, but hit it out the fielder. So 2 away, bases empty. 4 outs to go for Chicago. Mitch Garver's 0 for 2 today. He had 26 homers during the regular season. Let's see if he can add 1 to the postseason. Popped it up behind home plate, out of play for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Just gets a piece of that pitch on the outside corner. Count quickly. No balls and 2 strikes to Garver. And he pops it up. Charging is the third baseman Matthews, straddling that third base line, makes the catch, and it's 8 shutout innings for Don Sutton. After 7.5, it's the Chicago White Sox 5, the Connecticut Knights nothing. This is MLB The Show 23. Okay, so Pete Crow Armstrong. We're going to simulate, we're going to quick manage, fast forward to the next half inning. Fly out, ground out, fly out. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Dizzy Walsh leading off. 0 for 3. They have 3 outs to tie the game. They need 5 runs to tie. Can they do it? Obviously, Don Sutton is going for a complete game shutout here at Crosley Field. Pulls it hard, but deep and foul. Strike 1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. And he skies it to shallow center. Fairly routine play. Nimmo makes the catch. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Next up, Derek Jeter, who had 2 RBIs in game 1, but he's 0 for 3 today. Not very Jeter-like. Let's see if he can get on base. We need base runners. Fastball low, ball 1. When you're down by 5 runs in the 9th inning, you need base runners because a grand slam can't even tie the game. So, a lot of work to do. Pulls it hard, but foul. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. In this fictional franchise, Derek Jeter has over 4,000 base hits. Did he swing? Checked it. Pitches in the dirt. Count is 2-1. Slicing down the right field line. Charging. He will not get there. It rolls into the corner. Rounding first and heading to second is Jeter. He's going to round second. He's going to head to third. It's going to be a 1-out triple for Derek Jeter. And they got a lot of work to do, but that's maybe how it starts. Here's the replay. Maybe Vladimir Guerrero in right field could have possibly held him to a double, but he wanted to make the diving catch, and that ended up with Jeter rounding second and heading to third. So runner at third base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Next up, Ken Griffey Jr., who today is 0 for 3. Fastball misses inside, ball 1. Ball 2.
2 balls, no strike.
Deep, but foul. Count is 2-1. He got all of that one, but could not keep it fair. Here comes the pitch from Sutton. In the dirt. Yeah, he kept it close enough to him so that no advance at third. That would be a risky down by 5 runs. Hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is Miguel Cabrera, who has power as well. Out in front, pulls it foul. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at third, 5-0 Chicago here in Game 2 of the American League Division Series. And that's the hard line drive, base hit. It is an RBI single for the Connecticut Knights. It's an RBI single for Ken Griffey Jr., and they're on the board. It's now Chicago leading 5-1. Can't get too excited. It's still a 4-run game, but it has to start somewhere. Pulled it hard between first and second. So next up is the righty third baseman, Miguel Cabrera. And the manager has seen enough. He was sticking with Don Sutton to see if he could get him the complete game shutout. Gave up a run. Manager says, okay, you've done a great job. You can win. You cannot lose. He did his job. In relief, Joe Barlow, who has a sparkling ERA in 1 appearance in Game 1. Hopefully that will continue here in Game 2. Miguel Cabrera had a single in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. So the Knights need base runners. They need to get the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. Quick pitch over to first. He's back. Can't get picked off in this situation. Grounder off the pitcher's feet. Charging. Everybody's going to be safe. Everybody's going to be safe. First and second. 1 away. Infield single for Miguel Cabrera. And they're going to ask the pitcher if he's okay. Will the trainer come out? Will the trainer come out? It looks like he can walk it off. Nah, he's fine. He's good. Next up, Carlos Delgado. We need another base runner for the tying run to get to the plate here in the 9th. Breaking ball, slider off the plate outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Carlos is 0 for 3 today. He's my favorite player here on the Connecticut Knights, not counting myself. Swing and a miss, the 2-seam fastball. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Good pitch to hit, just flat out missed it. Runners lead off first and second. Line drive headed towards the right center field corner, and it will bounce and roll all the way to the wall. Rounding third, heading home is the first run. The second run rounds third, heads home. The throw to the plate is not in time. It is 5-3 Chicago here with 1 out and a runner in scoring position at second. And the tying run will come to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th in Game 2 of the American League Division Series. Representing the tying run, Robin Ramos, the pitcher who started the game. Skies it, foul. Strike 1. He walked in his first at-bat. He is 0 for 2. He had a 3-run home run in yesterday's game in Game 1. He now can possibly tie this game up with a home run here in the bottom of the 9th. Can he do it? Slider inside and low. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Barlow sets and delivers. Outside corner with strike 2. In the bullpen for the White Sox, Trevor Stephan and Ryan Weathers getting loose, just in case. Here comes the 1-2 to Ramos. He is the tying run. Deep but foul. Had the distance. The count remains 1-2. High and tight, count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ramos had 90 runs batted in during the regular season as the primary designated hitter for the team. Two-way player like Ohtani. Pitches outside, count will go full. On deck, Tim Salmon, who has power of his own. Full count pitch with 1 out. Carlos Delgado leads off second. And that's ball 4. And the tying runs are on first and second now. Manager of the White Sox has seen enough. Trevor Stephan comes in relief. Maybe Barlow's ankle. First pitch he threw, got hit back, smashed into his ankle. Maybe they should have took him out. Pinch runner, we're going to ignore this. We're leaving Robin Ramos in the game. Tim Salmon singled in the second. He is 1 for 3. Go-ahead run is at the plate. Tying runs at first and second. High and tight. Ball 1. Almost hit him. Salmon didn't budge. He was ready to take the hit to load the bases. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. On deck, the lefty hitting second baseman, Bryson Stott. 3-0 count. Will he have the green light? No, he will not. He will have the red light. He will not swing at this pitch. And it's in there for strike 1. Now the handcuffs are off. Hitters count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners lead off first and second. Stephan deals. Chases ball 4. 98 on the radar gun. The count will go full. 3-2. Here comes the full count pitch. And that's ball 4. And the bases are now loaded with Knights. The tying runs are both in scoring position. A single could tie this game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bryson Stott, 0 for 3, 0 for 6 in the first 2 games of this ALDS, is up with 1 away. Over the top of the split finger fastball. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. A little anxiousness from the second baseman. Can't be anxious with the bases loaded. Fouls off the splitter, and there's an 0-2 count coming. 2 strikes on Stott. Here comes the 0-2. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, to set the stage, this was 5-0 when the bottom of the 9th began. It's now 5-3. The bases are loaded with 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. In the dirt, blocked nicely by the catcher. No advance. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, he strikes him out. And there are 2 away, and the Connecticut Knights are down to their final out of this game. Representing the final out. Couldn't get around on it, just blew it past him. Representing the final out is Mitch Garver. 26 homers on the regular season. Fastball high, ball 1. In 2023 for the Connecticut Knights, 4 years ago, he was the World Series MVP, so he knows how to perform in the spotlight. High, 2 balls, no strikes. There's nowhere to put him. Bases are loaded. They need a hit to score the 2 runs at second and third to tie this game. And it's a deep fly ball. Back goes the left fielder, but he has room. In front of the warning track, makes the catch, side retired, ball game over. Chicago wins 5-3, and they even the series at 1. So they go to Chicago with the tier series tied at 1 game apiece. It was nerve-wracking, but unfortunately, the Chicago White Sox even this series up at 1 game apiece. Ouch. Thought we were going to get it. We thought we were going to get it. 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th was not enough to tie this ball game. The winner, Don Sutton. The loser, Robin Ramos. The save going to Trevor Stephan. Series tied 1 game apiece. Best of 5. It's now best of 3. Let's go to... Let's do some simulating. Let's exit the post game, confirm exit. Now, the reason why I'm doing some simulating is because I only play the games that Robin Ramos, the starting pitcher, pitches, and I simulate all the other games. So if you'll stick with me for a little bit longer, I'm going to stick around on the live stream and do some of the simulating to see what happens until in between Robin Ramos' next two starts. Okay, so Robin Ramos, day off, Lefty Grove, Vida Blue, Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler's not pitching that game. So here's what we'll do. Lefty Grove, view organization's games. This is game 3, Lefty Grove versus Rodriguez. Play game. We're not actually going to play the game. We're going to open the game up as if we're going to play it, and then we're going to simulate the game. So it should only take a minute or two. Play full game at Chicago at Guaranteed Rate Field. Lefty Grove. Okay, we're going to press advance. Series is tied 1 game apiece. As you can see, during the regular season, the Knights won the American League East with 99 wins. The Chicago White Sox 84-78. They're a wild card team. But as of right now, the series is tied at 1. Best of 5. Excuse me. Okay, so now before a single pitch is thrown by Grayson Rodriguez, now we go to quick manage and we simulate, we fast forward to the end of the game. 3-run home run from Connecticut. 3-0 lead here in the top of the second. 2 innings complete, 3-run lead. 3-2, 2-run home run against Lefty Grove in the 4th. 5-2, Connecticut Knights lead. 6-2 here in the 5th inning. 4-run lead, 3-run lead, 6-3. 9-3, Knights lead here in the 6th. 10-3, 11-3, it's a rout. In the pivotal game 3, the Knights show up to play. (11-5). Bottom of the 9th. Ball game over. Knights win game 3, 11-5. Lefty Grove obviously is the winning pitcher. They're up 2-1 in this best of 5 series, and they've got a little bit of breathing room. All right, so we're going to do the same thing again for game 4 of this series. All right, exit post game, confirm exit. And we're going to do that again. If you're watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience. So next is Vida Blue. As you can see, Connecticut is up 2-1 against Chicago. This is the deciding game. Connecticut wins this game, they advance to the next round of the playoffs. They lose this game, and they play game 5 for all the peanuts. Few organizations games versus Quantrill play game. Again, we're not going to actually play it. We're going to simulate it to see what happens. Guaranteed Rate Field. Vida Blue. The lineup remains the same. So hopefully we can advance past the Chicago White Sox despite the Game 2 loss by yours truly. Welcome to Game 4 of the American League Division Series. So obviously Cal Quantrill, 10-13, is going to pitch, but we're not going to see it. We're going to quick manage. We're going to fast forward and simulate to the end of the game. Third inning, still no score. 3-0 lead for Connecticut here in the deciding game. Chicago's being no hit in the 5th inning. 5-0. Two runs cross the plate for Chicago. It's 5-2 in the 7th. Seven to 2. Connecticut is taking control on the road against their round 1 opponent, Chicago. And that's it. The Knights advance to the next round of the playoffs, defeating Chicago in 4 games in the ALDS 7-2. Whew. It's always nerve-wracking to simulate the games that I don't pitch because I'm a slave to whatever the computer, the video game decides. If they decide that my season should end, it ends. So, good to see. So now I'm going to set up the lineup for the American League Championship Series. I'm going to set up Robin Ramos as the Game 1 starter and Randy Johnson as the Game 2 starter. I'm going to set that up, save it, and then that will be the next broadcast. Exit post-game, confirm exit. Player of the game, Vita Blue. Congratulations, the Knights have won the American League Division Series and will be taking on the Royals, the Kansas City Royals, in the American League Championship Series. As you can see, it has already been set up. Now, Walker Buehler and Randy Johnson are set up to pitch Game 1 and Game 2. We're going to fix that. We're going to go over here and go to pitching rotation. We're going to take Robin Ramos and put him in Walker Buehler's spot. So that's what we'll do. We'll have that way when we go back to the calendar and we go over to Robin Ramos will pitch Game 1, Randy Johnson will pitch Game 2, and perhaps Walker Buehler will pitch Game 3. We'll see what happens. But that's what we'll do. Now, so now what I'll do is I will fast forward to the day before, sim through this date, back it out, and as you can see, the playoff bracket for the 2026 playoff series in Major League Baseball, San Francisco is playing San Diego over in the NLCS. The San Diego Padres have a 1-0 lead in the best-of-7 series, and the ALCS between the Connecticut Knights and the Kansas City Royals has not begun yet, but it will. So that's all. I think I'm going to close out the live stream. I am Chris Ramos. This is MLB The Show 23. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have yourself an absolutely great evening, and I will see you tomorrow for Game 1 of the ALCS. Have a great night.